A full set of premium tyres in Australia costs between $1,200 and $2,000, yet independent tests and real owner data show overlooked brands consistently deliver safe, reliable performance at a fraction of the price. Number 7. Nankang has been quietly getting the job done for Aussie commuters since the 1970s. Born in Taiwan back in 1940, this brand isn't some fly-by-night operation. It's sold in over 150 countries and has a reputation for sticking around. The real kicker is the NS2 model. On everyday cars like the Hyundai iX35, owners are clocking up more than 80,000 kilometers before the tread even looks tired. That's the kind of longevity most premium brands love to brag about, but here it comes at around $174 a tyre. For drivers who want their money to last, that's hard to ignore. Nankang's also got the Ford Motor Company's Q1 quality certification under its belt, which isn't handed out like lollies. Aussie drivers regularly mention low road noise and steady handling in the wet or dry. If you're after badge prestige, look elsewhere. But if you want a tyre that keeps rolling long after the marketing hype fades, Nankang's a dead-set value pick. Number 6. Kumho covers the middle ground that most Aussie drivers actually need without the badge tax. This South Korean brand has been around since 1960, and you'll find its tyres at big-name retailers like Tyre and Bob Jane T-Marts. The Road Venture AT52, for example, sits at about $300 a tyre. Compare that to a BF Goodrich KO2, which often pushes past $400 for the same size and load rating. That's $100 back in your pocket per corner. But it's not just about price. The Extra PS71 made a splash in the 2025 Auto Build Summer Test, pulling up faster in the wet than some of the so-called premium European brands. Real-world feedback backs it up too. A Ford Escape owner who swapped from Maxxis to Kumho's Krugen HT51 after 180,000 kilometers reported less cabin noise, a noticeable lift in wet grip, and even better fuel economy, all for less money. For drivers who want reliable grip in the rain, decent off-road chops, and a price that doesn't sting, Kumho is the smart money choice. Number 5. Hankook isn't just another cheap and cheerful import, it's a global heavyweight that's been rolling out tyres since 1941. You'll find Hankook rubber straight from the factory floor on new Hyundais, Kias, BMWs, and even Fords in Australia. That's not a side gig, that's original equipment trust, the kind of credibility most budget brands can only dream of. Now for Aussies who actually use their four-wheel drives, the Dynapro AT range keeps cropping up in 4x4 mags as a best value all-terrain. It's known for a slow wear rate and off-road grip that punches well above its price tag, about $260 a corner, yet rated at 4.5 out of 5 for off-road work. If you're just after a solid highway tyre, Hankook's Laufen sub-brand, made in Hungary, sells through places like Jack's Tyres for 15 to 20% less than the mainline stuff, but still shares the same engineering DNA. And when it comes to wet braking, the Ventus Evo landed near the top in the 2025 Auto Build Test, 3.5 metres to a stop, right up there with the big names. For drivers who want OEM-level reliability and real-world savings, Hankook's the quiet achiever the premium brands hope you'll keep ignoring. Number 4. Maxxis turns the theory of budget tyres into hard, proven reality on Australian dirt. Born in Taiwan back in 1967, Maxxis has built its name where it counts, out in the bush, not just in the showroom. The Bravo AT980 is a legend among four-wheel drive owners, setting the all-terrain benchmark for more than a decade. When you look at real-world numbers, the story gets even better. In a Wheels magazine test on a Hyundai Tucson, the Premitra 5 delivered the shortest wet braking distance, pulling up faster than Continental, Cooper and Bridgestone, all while costing less at the counter. That's not marketing spin, that's hard data. But Maxxis doesn't just win in the lab. Owner reports from Cape York to the Tasmanian Highlands show AT980s lasting beyond 80,000 kilometres through mud, sand and outback corrugations, shrugging off punishment that would shred lesser tyres. The trade-off? The AT980 Bravo isn't shy on highway noise. If you're mostly pounding bitumen, you'll notice the hum. but for Aussie drivers who want a tyre that actually handles the country, not just the commute, Maxxis delivers the kind of value the big brands don't want you to notice. Number 3, Falcon throws a spanner in the works for anyone who thinks you have to pay top dollar for real performance. Backed by Sumitomo Rubber Industries, one of Japan's heavyweights, Falcon delivers Japanese compound tech at prices that are 20 to 40% less than what you'd fork out for Michelin, Pirelli, or Continental in Australia. That's not just a sticker on the sidewall either. The Wildpeak AT3W is a regular favourite on Aussie four-wheel drive forums, often mentioned in the same breath as the BF Goodrich KO2 and Toyo Open Country ATII for wet grip and off-road toughness. But it's the ZE320 that really turns heads. In Autobuild's 2025 Summer Shootout, it finished second for dry performance out of 52 tyres. Only the Bridgestone Potenza Sport stopped shorter, and the ZE320 left the Michelin Pilot Sport 5, Continental Sport Contact 7, and Goodyear Eagle F1 eating its dust. You can grab Falcons through Tyre and most performance retailers, usually in the exact size and speed rating as the big-name brands, but with a much friendlier price tag. For drivers who want proper performance without the premium tax, Falcon is the quiet achiever the tyre shops hope you'll overlook. Number 2, Kenda is the brand most Aussies walk straight past, but it's built for people who actually use their tyres, tourers, campers, and anyone who's not afraid of a bit of mud. Kenda kicked off in Taiwan back in 1962 making push bike tyres, but these days it's a global operation with factories in Taiwan, China, the US, Germany, and Indonesia, shipping to over 150 countries. This isn't just another cheap import. Kenda's got a joint venture with Cooper Tyres, which means real engineering muscle, not just a sticker on the sidewall. The real proof? Unsealed 4x4 ran a full 18-month torture test on the Kenda Clever MT, dragging it through Gulf Country bulldust, outback corrugations, Tasmanian slop, and the rock gardens of Cape York. The verdict? Genuinely impressive, with consistent wear rates and no drama, even where premium brands start sweating. While the big names like BF Goodrich and Toyo want upwards of $350 a tyre for their mud terrain models, the Cleaver MT clocks in at around $230. That's a massive saving, especially for first-time four-wheel drive owners or families hauling camper trailers. For anyone who wants a tyre that can actually take a beating without taking your wallet, Kenda's the brand the off-road crowd is quietly tipping as the best-kept secret in the country. And finally, in first place, Silon makes the boldest case for everyday Aussie drivers who just want safe, reliable tyres that don't break the bank. You'll spot Silon on the shelves at Tyre and Auto Hero, with prices starting around $80 a tyre. That's $320 for a full set, not $600 or more like the so-called mid-range brands. For families juggling school runs and commutes in Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane, that's real money back in the pocket. But cheap doesn't mean dodgy. Owner reviews on the Atrezzo line keep repeating the same themes: decent wet grip, no surprises in the handling, and tread life that outlasts expectations for the price. The Atrezzo meets Australian design rules, so it's not some grey import that'll get you knocked back at rego time. What really seals the deal is the value on wet roads. In the 2025 Auto Build Mega Test, a fellow Chinese budget tyre, the Linglong Sportmaster, tied for the shortest wet braking distance, beating out Bridgestone, Michelin, Continental, and Goodyear. That puts Silon's grip in a league the big brands would rather you ignore. For the average suburban driver who just needs tyres that work, Silon is the ultimate savings play. No badge tax, no marketing fluff, just safe rubber that leaves more cash for the next family holiday. Across all 7 brands, one thing's clear. You don't need a flashy badge to get safe, dependable tyres on Aussie roads. The industry's price tag myth is just that, a myth. Do your homework, trust real results, and keep more of your hard-earned in your pocket. Thoughts below, legends.